We are live from Wrigley Field as we get you set for Labor Day Cubs action here on WGN Sports. The Houston Astros are in town. It's the first of a three-game series. Cubs playing well on this homestand. It's the Hyundai leadoff man. Baseball about 20 minutes away. Hi again, everyone. I'm Len Casper. We hope your holiday weekend is going well. I would say it went pretty well for the Cubs, even though they lost yesterday. They still won 2 out of 3 against the Mets. They're 4-2 on the homestand. Houston comes in having won 11 of its last 14. They're pitching extremely well. More on that a little bit later. Let's check in on a couple of bizarre highlights from yesterday's Cubs-Mets series finale. Beautiful day at the ballpark. Sellout crowd as the Cubs shot for the sweep. They unfortunately didn't get it. Here was one of those weird plays. Angel Pagan to deep right to lead off the 5th inning. Tyler Colvin dropped the ball trying to take the ball out. Pagan gets to second base on an error, and that would lead to 5 runs in the inning. 4 would be unearned. Then Ruben Tejada in the 7th off Marcos Mateo. He thought he had a triple. Instead, it was his first career home run. Another bizarre play. Starlin Castro forgot how many outs there were in the bottom of the 7th inning. You see he's running off the field. There were actually 2 outs, not 3. That became the 3rd out. Starlin getting just a mental break today. Probably won't play tomorrow either. He has been in the lineup just about every day this season. Mets 18, Cubs 5 the final. Nice over Dempster, but a clean slate today as the Astros come in. The Cubs have played 4 previous series against Houston and have dropped 2 of 3 in all those sets. So a little revenge on the minds of the Cubs. This is the first of 6 remaining in this season series. As we go to break on the Hyundai leadoff man, let's look at today's Hyundai dealer of the game, Gregory Hyundai. In Highland Park, Illinois, see the cars the experts are raving about at myhyundaichicago.com. Powered by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. And by your Chicago Hyundai dealers. See the cars the experts are raving about at myhyundaichicago.com. Make sure you come on out to Wrigley Field. We'll be here tomorrow night, Wednesday night, and Billy Williams Statue Night will be tomorrow. San Francisco comes in on the 21st, and then the Cardinals to wrap up the Wrigley Field schedule. Well, the Cubs minor league system has had a very good year this year, and a big day for Ryan Sandberg, the PCL Manager of the Year at AAA. His Iowa Cubs playing their final game of the regular season against Memphis. That game just underway in Des Moines. If Iowa wins, they're in the playoffs. If they lose, they're out. Tennessee will be in the Southern League playoffs, and Daytona finished up strong, 75-64, good for a second-place finish. And this is a big holiday in baseball. We make the final turn, so to speak, in early September. A lot of the pennant races heating up, and Bob's AutoZone tip of the day. Just take the day off and enjoy it with us. The tip of the day brought to you by AutoZone. For the auto parts, accessories, and advice you need, get in the zone. AutoZone.
Okay, everybody, have a good afternoon. Enjoy the game.
Brought to you in part by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. And by your Chicago Hyundai dealers. See the cars the experts are raving about at myhyundaichicago.com. Well, the Cubs lineup a little bit different today. Aramis Ramirez day-to-day with a strained right quad muscle. And again, Starlin Castro just gets a couple of days off to observe. The 20-year-old rookie has had a fantastic season. But Darwin Barney gets to start at short. Jeff Baker will be at third. And for the pitching staff today, Andrew Kashner, Carlos Marmol were spared action yesterday, so both of them will probably get into the game today. Wandy Rodriguez off to a bad start this season, but surging lately, a 0.98 earned run average over his last 8 starts. For Casey Coleman, this is his first start in 8 days. It's the 4th start of his major league career. The Cubs hosting their NL Central rivals, the Houston Astros, on Labor Day 2010, coming up next.
is a presentation of WGN Sports.
From deep in the heart of Wrigleyville, we're set for Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports. It's Labor Day matinee here at the ballpark as the red-hot Houston Astros are in town. The Cubs are playing pretty good baseball in spite of a loss yesterday, 8-4 under their new manager, Mike Quade. We welcome Cub fans from all over the country watching on WGN America, America's home for baseball. Hi again, everyone. Along with Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. The Astros got off to a very slow start this season. Offensive troubles throughout. No Lance Berkman, no Roy Oswalt. And, Bob, they're playing their best baseball of the season. Go figure.
Well, it's all because of their pitching staff, no question about it, including today's starter, Wandy Rodriguez. The Astros have really thrown the ball well over their last 14 games. They've won 11. They're averaging just over 3 runs a game offensively, but they're not giving up anything on that mound.
Casey Coleman, the rookie right-hander, will start for the Cubs today. It's his first outing in over a week. Hopefully there won't be any rust.
Well, and he needs his defense to play well behind him. That's the thing for Casey Coleman. He's a pitch-to-contact kind of a guy. He doesn't strike out very many opposing hitters, so he's going to need his defense to make some plays behind him today.
And he's been better as a starter since jumping out of the bullpen and into the rotation. Left-hander Wandy Rodriguez, we've seen him quite a bit throughout the years. When he's on, he has one of the best curveballs in baseball.
Fastball, curveball, changeup combination, and he is apparently on top of his game. He's given up 0 or 1 earned run in 7 of his last 8 starts.
And we mentioned during the leadoff, man, the Cubs lineup with a different look today. Aramis Ramirez day-to-day with the quad. Starlin Castro more of a mental day off. We'll talk more about it during the game, but sometimes you just need to sit and watch.
Well, and Starlin has really been grinding it out. I think he's only missed 1 ball game, maybe 2 games since he came up here to the major leagues. And some mental mistakes in the ball game yesterday. He might just need a blow, sit on the bench for a day, watch the ball game, slow things down once again.
All right, the wind was blowing out during batting practice. Carlos Zambrano hit one into the bleachers in center during BP. Got to keep that ball down. Let's go down to the field now for our pregame festivities,
where the Aurora Police Department will present the colors of the United States and the state of Illinois for today's ball game.
At the twilight's last gleaming,
WGN. Station WGN, brought to you by Budweiser. Want to go home with me tonight? I'm the designated driver. Budweiser, responsibility matters. Pepsi, every Pepsi refreshes the world. Submit your idea at refresheverything.com. And by Illinois Lottery's newest game, Powerball. Wednesday and Saturday jackpots start at $20 million. AT&T UVerse TV launched the Chicago Cubs multi-view app in partnership with WGN Sports. Now for Cubs home games on WGN through the rest of the season, AT&T UVerse viewers can call their own shots. The multi-view app allows the viewer to choose from 7 different camera angles and watch 4 at the same time. Multi-view is on channel 780 and available to all UVerse TV customers in the Chicago area. Here come the Cubs behind rookie right-hander Casey Coleman. In 13 of 18 between the Astros and Cubs. We'll see how the Astros line up, written out by manager Brad Mills. Michael Bourne, 45 steals to lead the league. Jeff Keppinger's at second. Hunter Pence is in right. Game-winning homer for him yesterday at Arizona. Carlos Lee starting to knock in runs. He has 82 RBIs on the year. Chris Johnson, fine rookie third baseman, hitting .321. It's Brian Bogusevic in left, Matt Downs at short, Jason Castro the catcher, and Wandy Rodriguez the pitcher.
And let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively today. Behind Casey Coleman, brought to you by Pepsi. Every Pepsi refreshes the world. Soriano, Bird, and Colvin across the outfield today. Jeff Baker will be at third base for Aramis Ramirez. Darwin Barney getting a rare start at shortstop today. He's played a little third and a little second, but getting the start at the shortstop position today. Blake DeWitt will be over at second. Xavier Nady at first base. Giovanni Soto doing the catching for right-hander Casey Coleman. Sinker slider changeup combination from Casey Coleman. Needs to keep the ball down, as Len mentioned earlier. The wind blowing straight out today here at Wrigley Field. And Casey's a guy that doesn't miss a lot of bats. In 25 innings of work, only 11 strikeouts, so he needs to keep the ball down, let his defense work for him.
And the umpires today, Mark Carlson, who attended Joliet West High School, also went to Parkland College and was a catcher, will call the balls and strikes. The crew chief is Jeff Kellogg. Larry Vanover at second. Jeff Nelson at third. .23-year-old 6-foot right-hander Casey Coleman facing the Astros for the first time in his career. The Astros got in around 11 o'clock last night after a day game in Phoenix. A 3-2 win over the Arizona Diamondbacks. Cubs lost 18-5, but they beat the Mets 2 out of 3. 1 strike on Michael Bourne. And he floats that one out into left for a base hit. So Casey Coleman will immediately go from the stretch, and he'll have to keep an eye on Michael Bourne, who leads the league in steals by a wide margin with 45. Time now for our Chrysler game forecast. 79 degrees. South wind right now blowing straight out to center. Yeah, Labor Day, they say it's the end of summer. And hopefully not weather-wise as we look ahead. Brought to you by Chrysler. For more info on our vehicle lineup, log on to Chrysler.com or stop by your Chicagoland or Northwest Indiana Chrysler dealer today. Jeff Keppinger takes a strike. He has arguably been the Astros' most valuable player. Recently came back from the disabled list. He had a left big toe injury called sesamoiditis. Never heard of it, but his toe was injured.
Sounds painful.
sesamoiditis.
Check it out on WebMD between innings. Find out what it is.
Dropped some sesame seeds on his toe.
Maybe that's it. Well, he's a real good handler of the bat. Obviously, you want to keep Michael Bourn off base if at all possible because of his base stealing speed.
Runner was going. That's chopped off the plate. Baker will have to barehand and get Keppinger. And a good job by both Casey Coleman and Darwin Barney, realizing Michael Bourn might not have been satisfied with one base. They both went over to cover third.
A very good instinctive reaction by both of the young players. Ball pounded off of home plate. I was about to say that Keppinger, a real good handler of the bat. Brad Mills likes to use him to play hit and run when Bourn gets on base. And good reaction by the pitcher and the shortstop to get over there and cover third base just in case Michael Bourn had thoughts about trying to advance another 90 feet.
Well, the very energetic Hunter Pence Sunday hit a game-winning opposite field 3-run homer in the first inning. That's all the Astros would need. 3-2 the final, and that particular score, Bob, is I think indicative of what the Astros have done here lately. They've won 11 of 14, scoring just over 3 runs a game and giving up less than 2 in terms of their earned run average, as we showed you in the open. 0-2 the count.
Boy, and Hunter Pence has been a major part of what offense the Astros have been able to generate recently. He's 11 for his last 22 with a couple of home runs and 9 driven in over his past 6 ball games. See what he's done in his last 4. Red hot.
That's outside on a fastball at 89. The way Wandy Rodriguez has pitched lately, you definitely don't want to let the Astros get some early runs and let the left-handers settle in. That's pulled to left, but too much. Overcast skies, the lights are on. Again, comfortable at 79 degrees. And right now the wind has shifted slightly and is blowing straight out to left. Ooh, just missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You're right, just missed, but missed in his favor. Tried to nip that outside corner with a comeback sinker. If you're going to miss that outside corner when you're ahead in the count, miss further away.
Off the end of the bat, Colvin racing after it, and he makes a sliding grab. Nicely done. Bourn has to hold it second, and that's the second out. Wind might have held that ball up just a little bit to help out Tyler Colvin.
A nice running, sliding catch by Colvin after the dropped ball in right center field yesterday. Good to see him get right back on that horse, make a nice catch, hopefully to bail Casey Coleman out of this first inning.
By the way, happy belated 25th birthday to Tyler Colvin. Forgot about him yesterday. There's Carlos Lee, Cub killer, Carlos Lee. He leads the majors since July 28th with 35 RBIs over his last 34 games. Got off to a very slow start. That's a fair ball backing up Jeff Baker. Nice throw to Nady. That'll end the inning. Leadoff single by Bourne, but he's stranded at second, and the Cubs are coming up. Last 7 consecutive games. The last time they had 8 in a row, 1952. Baker, DeWitt, Bird at the top. Soto hitting cleanup with Noah Ramos Ramirez today. Nady, Colvin in right. Soriano in left. Barney the shortstop, and Casey Coleman the pitcher.
Take a look at the Astros defense. Bogusevic in left field. Bourne in center. Pence over in right. Chris Johnson will play third base. Matt Downs at short. Jeff Keppinger at second. Carlos Lee making his 7th start of the season at first base. Jason Castro behind the plate for left-hander Wandy Rodriguez. Mentioned it earlier, a fastball, curveball, changeup combination. As Len mentioned, when that curveball is on, it's as good as any breaking ball in the National League. And he has been on some kind of a roll lately. His overall numbers for the season. ERA in the month of August of 1.34, even though he only won 2 ball games.
Well, that's Jeff Baker's spot, isn't it? 3 for 3 yesterday against the left-hander John Neese. All the hits were to the opposite field, and same thing here against Wandy Rodriguez.
Line drive and a couple of floaters yesterday. Starts the day with another line drive through that right side. First curveball of the day for Wandy Rodriguez. Gets spanked into right field for a base hit.
There's Blake DeWitt. Takes it low for ball 1. If you go back to June 18th, Wandy Rodriguez had an ERA of 6.09. When he lost to the Cubs here at Wrigley Field on July 19th, his ERA was 5.11. But since that start, 4-1 with a 0.98 over his last 8 outings. He's at 371 for the season, but I have to say he's probably the hottest pitcher in baseball at the moment. Breaking ball missed, 2-1.
Really, you go back over his last 13 starts, he's had 1 bad one, and he won that ball game anyway. It was against the Cubs. 6 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, but came away with a victory. Every other start, he has been outstanding.
That's past a diving Carlos Lee for a base hit. Baker stopping at second. 2 on, nobody out for Marlon Byrd.
Checking on Carlos Lee down there at first base early in the ball game. First two hitters going right past him into right field for base hits. Just not enough range after holding on Jeff Baker. Couldn't get over there and make the diving play.
Roy Oswalt, Lance Berkman, two biggest faces of this franchise, were traded away in late July. And the Astros have played extremely well since. Pitch to Bird. There's a double play ball. And it goes 4-6-3. Keppinger downs Lee. Baker now at third with 2 outs.
Bird, always very aggressive at the plate, has been especially so lately, swinging at a lot of first pitches. That time, unfortunately, a hard ground ball right to Keppinger at second base. An easy double play for the Astros.
Brings up Giovanni Soto in the cleanup spot. Curveball strike. Second time this year he has batted fourth. Cubs have used 9 different guys in that 4 spot. Brad Mills has to be very pleased with how his team has played lately. Former Cubs minor league manager back in the late 80s, early 90s. They got off to an 0-8 start. And since then, they've been a 500 team. Astros always seem to finish strong. The 2-1 to Soto just missed the outside corner.
You know, and it seems so odd the first time we played the Astros without Craig Biggio. First time we played him without Jeff Bagwell. And this time, the first time without Lance Berkman. The killer bees that were such a big part of this Astros organization are no more.
Swing and a miss. Change up. Well, now it's Bourne and Bourgeois and Bogusevic. And they do have Jeff Bagwell, but he's their pitching coach. I guess you could throw Jeff Blum in there too. Super utility guy. Hitting coach, I'm as a pitching coach. Jeff Bagwell as Rodriguez stabbed that liner to end the first. 0-0 after 1.
Wednesday at Wrigley Field. Game time is 7:05, but be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Cubs toiletry bag, compliments of Vegas. I guess you could carry your chips in there. You don't need to carry your shaving cream and your razor.
Hey. Carry whatever fits. Rookie third baseman Chris Johnson will start the Astros second. Bottom part of the zone for a strike from Coleman. In the second half, Johnson 8th in the league in batting at .339. 4th among all rookies this season at .321. With a minimum of 200 ABs. He drives that ball to deep left center for a leadoff home run. That was about 3 rows from the top of the bleachers. And we saw a lot of fly balls like that during batting practice. In fact, we saw a lot of balls that didn't even hit the bleachers. They went over the bleachers.
Now, watching the Astros take batting practice today, you wonder if they have enough balls left to take batting practice tomorrow and Wednesday. I mean, they were scattering balls all over Wrigleyville. Pitch was down. Good extension from Chris Johnson. Good looking young hitter.
Well, if you're going to get into a home run contest today, the Cubs should have the advantage. That's only the 91st homer for the Astros. They came in 3rd to last in the majors in that category. Brian Bogusevic getting the start in left. This is his first major league start. Cubs ranked 9th in the majors with 138 home runs. And again, the Astros 28th. Bogusevic was drafted as a pitcher. First rounder, he went 24th overall out of Tulane. And he was born in Palos Heights, Illinois. Here's a 2-2 on the way, and that one is sprayed foul into the upper deck behind third. Bogusevic made his debut last Wednesday inside. Full count, 3-2. Matt Downs is on deck. He's making his Astros debut. They got him on waivers from the Giants in late August. September baseball.
Gotta love it.
See a lot of new faces.
It's a lot like spring training baseball, with the exception of the fact the players can't get their running in the outfield once they come out of the game.
Yeah, the games count. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Good heater from Coleman at 92.
Now, Coleman is more of a movement and location guy, but on occasion he can reach back and put a little extra velocity on that fastball. Comeback sinker at 92. It's a called third strike.
I had a nice chat with Cubs pitching coordinator Mark Riggins, who's with the big league club currently and has seen Casey Coleman's development through the system. 1 ball, no strikes. Matt Downs now 1-1. And one thing Mark talked about, when you take a player and you move him up a level, there's an adjustment period. And many times physically, it's not as big an adjustment as it is mentally. And he said that's never been a problem for Casey Coleman. The organization has never really worried about him being overmatched mentally, moving from level to level. A lot of intestinal fortitude. Talked about his upbringing around major league and minor league clubhouses. Grandfather, his father pitched in the majors. And we've seen him, I think, get a little bit better every time he has taken the ball at this level. He's only 23 years old. Outside ball 4. Cub fans, make sure you check out our WGN Baseball blog on WGNTV.com. Click on the sports link. Look for Len and Bob's blog. I have a post about the Cubs measuring up. Schedule gets a little bit tougher here. Check out Duncan Keith and Dave Bolin singing the stretch. Game notes from Stats, much more. Once again, WGNTV.com. Left-handed hitting catcher Jason Castro. Ball 1.
Oh, and just as an by the way, it seems like Wandy Rodriguez's takeoff in the second half of the season coincided with the fact that Jason Castro has basically been his personal catcher. I know some managers don't like that particular situation where a pitcher feels more comfortable and ends up throwing to a guy all the time, but hey, if it works, don't fix it. And there's really no reason to explain why it is that two guys work so well together, but when Jason Castro started to catch the starts by Wandy Rodriguez, that's when Rodriguez really took off.
Check on Downs. Coleman's last start was a week ago Sunday at Cincinnati. A no decision, 4 runs in 6 innings. And that one smacked past Darwin Barney and through the legs of Soriano. And each runner will get an extra base, so it'll be a single and an error.
Ball hit hard through the left side. Barney cheating up the middle of the field just a little bit, and like Soriano just took his eye off the ball, didn't track it all the way into the glove. You see Darwin Barney running back towards second base, pointing in that direction, indicating that that's where the ball should have been thrown. Unfortunately, Jason Castro in at second.
There's part-time switch hitter Wandy Rodriguez. He's batting left-handed. Big swing and tapped it foul. Cubs gave up 4 unearned runs yesterday because of the Tyler Colvin error in the 5th inning. Hopefully that Soriano miscue doesn't cost Coleman and the Cubs any more runs in this inning after the leadoff homer by Johnson. 0-2. Lots of day action on this holiday, and we'll also keep you posted on Iowa hosting Memphis, final game of the year. Popped into short center. Marlon Byrd is going to get under it. This should keep everybody right where they are. It will.
Shallow fly ball with the infield playing in, always a dangerous proposition because neither middle infielder could get out that far to make the play, but Marlon Byrd covers the ground and, as usual, unloads quickly to home plate, holding the runner at third base.
But only halfway there. Still got to get Michael Bourne. And the corner men are in, even with 2 outs. Jeff Baker pulled in very tight because of Bourne's speed and his ability to bunt.
Eight bunt hits this season, 34 infield hits.
Going to try to score, and the throw gets by. An aggressive move by Matt Downs, and it paid off. The ball did not get far away from Soto. It'll be a wild pitch charge to Coleman. 2-0.
Yeah, it looked like the Cubs had a play at the plate. Unfortunately, Giovanni Soto tossed back to Casey Coleman. A little bit too hard. Coleman couldn't handle it. Fortunately, Jeff Baker had come down the line at third base to back the play up. Otherwise, the Astros may end up getting 2 on this play. Baker was right there to field that errant throw.
Swinging away on the 3-0. Not that. 3-1 on Bourne. Don't want to make too much out of what Matt Downs did and extrapolate more than I should, but I think when teams are winning and playing well and with a lot of confidence, you see more aggressive base running plays like that. I saw the comment from John Garland the other night after San Diego had lost its 9th in a row. Bourne takes the walk. They now have lost 10 straight, but Garland had an interesting line, Bob. He said, you know, some people don't want to hear this, but it feels like we're waiting for somebody to give us a win.
They're going to be waiting a long time.
I think there is something to that.
You play not to make mistakes. If you're having trouble scoring runs, you don't want to get thrown out on the bases, being overly aggressive. Yeah, pitchers trying to execute the perfect pitch rather than get ahead in the count and then expand the strike zone. All those little things that really get magnified when you're not winning ball games. You tend to get a little closer to the vest, and for most teams, that's not the way to play.
Inside to Keppinger, and I also think that when you consider a scouting report going into a series, the Cubs have been one of the worst defensive teams in the league. Let's be honest, and I think that leads other teams to be more aggressive and make the Cubs make a play. And that's something that definitely needs to improve.
That is absolutely a fact. No question about it. We talked about this start for Casey Coleman today. He's a contact pitcher. He needs his defense to make plays behind him. Now, obviously, the home run can't put a defender up there in the bleachers, but the base hit to left field that was mishandled by Soriano, putting 2 runners into scoring position. The wild pitch by Coleman himself. The errant throw back to the plate by Giovanni Soto. Those are the kind of things that are tough to overcome when you're a pitcher who pitches to contact.
You can be a winning club with a subpar defensive team if you are way above average in all the other areas. But when that is not the case, you got to tighten things up. Outside, 3-1 on Keppinger. Pence is on deck. 2 in for the Astros here in the second.
I would fully expect Bourne to be on the move over there at first base. We talked about Keppinger in his first at bat. If the pitch is in the strike zone, he's going to put it in play somewhere. If it's out of the strike zone, he can take it for ball 4, but really a no lose proposition, although Bourne not moving.
Base hit center field. Here comes Castro, and Bourne will make the turn and head to third. Jeff Keppinger with an RBI single. 3-0.
Right down Main Street on the 3-1 count. You got to come in with a strike. Casey did. Unfortunately, it was elevated in the strike zone, and Keppinger made him pay.
First and third for Pence. Chokes up on the bat. Barely stands still. And hits it foul. A lot of guys in that Astros clubhouse after getting to bed probably around midnight needed a jolt of caffeine, but I don't think Hunter Pence needed anything today.
No. This guy makes coffee noise.
Bird's going to have to play this one on a hop. Bourne is in. It's 4-0. Sounded like Pence cracked his bat as he stays hot. It's starting to feel like the late innings yesterday. Casey Coleman's got to put an end to this fast.
Not a bad pitch. Hard sinker on the inside corner. Broke the bat of Hunter Pence. Just muscled it out there into left center field for another Astro run. Boy, you do not want to fall behind much further with Wandy Rodriguez on the mound today. He is a tough customer.
Well, the Mets scored 5 in the 8th yesterday, 5 in the 9th. Coleman worked a scoreless first today, but now a 4-run second. 2-0 on Carlos Lee. And the guy who benefits the most is Wandy Rodriguez, now with a 4-0 advantage. That ball ended up fair by about 5 feet. Looked like it was going to go foul off the end of the bat. They send all 9 to the plate and get 4 to take the early lead. Top of this inning. One and one on Xavier Nady. For whatever reason, the Cubs have struggled on Labor Day. Since it became an official holiday in 1894, they have gone 30 games under 500 on Labor Day, including 29 and 40 here at Wrigley. High on a heater, 2-2. .85 for his last 12 and hitting .364 over his last 15 games, but he swings and misses for strike 3. Let's check out who's moving forward with Toyota. I was talking with Cubs legend Ron Santo about this before the game. He is the only Cub with 2 multi-homer games on Labor Day. Did it in 1963 and again in 1970. Toyota, and your local Toyota dealer's official partner of the Chicago Cubs. Was a great holiday hitter, Ron Santo. He was just a great hitter.
Yeah, every day was a holiday for Ron Santo, the way he swung the bat.
We're reading an interesting article as we watch Tyler Colvin. A high fly ball to deep right center. It's caught by Michael Bourne.
After falling behind 2-0 in the top half of the second inning to Memphis, the Iowa Cubs roared back with 2 of their own in the bottom of the second to tie it up. That is the very definition of a must-win game for the Iowa Cubs.
Win, they're in. They lose, they're out. Taking on the top affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals, Memphis Redbirds. Soriano blooped out into left center, and it's going to be caught by Bogusevic to end the inning. They go 1-2-3 in the second. It's 4-zip Houston. By Budweiser, official beer of the thirst inning. Let's check out the crowd through the thirst inning fan cam and see who's enjoying the game.
Look at them yo-yos, that's the way you do it. You play the guitar on MTV.
Money for Nothing by Dire Straits. Budweiser, it's what we do.
That ain't working.
Chris Johnson led off the second with a home run. The Astros would add 3 more, and they lead 4-0. Very hard through the hole on the left side for a base hit. We are email accessible at LennonBob@Tribune.com. You can follow us at Twitter.com/LennonBob. Goldie Baby following us on Twitter. Sesamoiditis, an injury of the small bones in the ball of the foot, comes from repetition like running or dancing. That's what Jeff Keppinger was dealing with. Thanks to Goldie Baby. Who loves you, baby? Bogusevic takes a fastball low and inside for ball 1. Just again 2-0. Bogusevic, again born in Palos Heights, Illinois, and lives in Oak Lawn. 3 seasons at Tulane. He was drafted as a pitcher by the Astros in 2005. Senior year at Tulane, he had .328 and won 13 games. Barney the turn. They get the double play. 1-6-3. Started by the pitcher.
Nicely done. Little comebacker right to the mound on a hop. Casey Coleman leads Darwin Barney right to the bag. Tailor-made double play ball. That's why a pitcher always has to know which middle infielder is going to cover the bag on a comeback. Usually with a left-handed hitter, it's going to be the shortstop. Usually with a right-handed hitter, it's going to be the second baseman. But before the pitch is thrown with a runner at first base, the last thing a pitcher does is check with those middle infielders who's going to cover on a comeback.
Matt Downs from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Former Giant. Acquired on waivers in late August.
That's why the elephant had to go to the dentist. Tuscaloosa. Is it September yet?
Oh, it is.
Okay.
Tuscaloosa. I like it. One and two on Matt Downs. Tweet from DDP Kratz, stranded in Ohio with car trouble until tomorrow, but gets to watch us. WGN America. He's not lost. 3-2. Just resting his eyes. Line shot, base hit. Colvin will cut it off in the alley. Pacific Coast League update as Iowa tries to make the playoffs. 3-2 Memphis in the third. Ryan Sandberg got tossed in the first inning yesterday, a game that ended up going 15 innings. As the I-Cubs lost a heartbreaker 8-7.
And Mitch Atkins got tossed early in the ball game today. Wasn't even in the ball game. Apparently, I'm guessing, barking at the home plate umpire about balls and strikes from the dugout. Trigger happy umpires.
I kind of like it, Bob. It's basically Cubs Cardinals for the playoffs. Just so happens to be at the AAA level. Jay Jackson on the mound trying to get his 12th win today for the Cubs. Here's a 1-0 outside to Castro. 2-0. Laura Swanson, huge Cub fan, watching today from Four Paw, Arizona. So, Laura, we hope you're doing well today. I'd like to see the Cubs come back in this 4-0 deficit. A foul out of play. Scored in the second on a wild pitch at the plate. Coleman ready for a 2-1. A little bit inside.
And Coleman consistently hammering away at that inside corner, even further off the plate inside on Jason Castro. It's usually not hard to figure out what the book is on an opposing hitter when you have a control pitcher on the mound. First at bat or two of a ball game will tell you how they're going to try to pitch the guy throughout the series.
Third walk issued by Coleman.
In Dusty Baker's days as a hitting coach for the San Francisco Giants, that was one of his theories. He would tell his hitters the first game of a series, you always hope to face a pitcher that has really good control of 4 different pitches. Because if you watch how he works you in that first game of the series, that's probably how the rest of the staff is going to try to get you out as well. They're fresh off their advance meeting. Whether a guy has a weakness up and in, low and away, pitch him up, pitch him down, whatever the case may be. If you have a command pitcher on the mound the first game of the series, that's going to be a pretty good indicator of how they're going to pitch you the entire series.
It's low. 2-0. Coleman walked the 8-hitter Castro, and now is behind Rodriguez, and Larry Rothschild is coming out. It's the other issue, Bob, that lately the Cubs have struggled on the mound. They've given up a lot of big hits to guys at the bottom of the order. They had a stretch when the pitcher on the other team was coming up with big hits. Jonathan Neese yesterday had 2 RBI singles. Ruben Tejada, who hit 8th in their lineup, had 5 RBIs.
Could be a subconscious thing where you feel like, well, I made it through the middle of the lineup unscathed. I can relax a little bit here at the bottom of the order and just throw the ball over the plate. You've got to execute your pitches to everybody with a bat in their hands. Casey Coleman hustling over that first baseline. We saw that ball come back fair off the bat of Carlos Lee to end the top half of the second inning. It looked like it was going to go well foul down that first baseline, hit something and shot back into fair territory. So Casey Coleman didn't take any chances on that one.
Here comes a 2-1. Hit high in the air. Darwin Barney with a beat on it, and he's going to peel off as Bird will make the catch. 2 hits, a walk, but no runs as Coleman got helped by that double play ball. 4-0 Houston. Welcome back to Wrigley Field. The Cubs have had a lot of trouble with the Astros this season. They've played 4 series, and the Astros have taken 2 of 3 in all 4. And they came in pretty hot, having won 11 of 14 and 8 of 11 on the road. Darwin Barney, ground ball in the hole at second base and dropped by Keppinger. Should be a hit. It is.
Well, you know it's not by design, Len, but a lot of the balls hit off the Cubs' bats have gone to the right side of the infield. Carlos Lee, as I mentioned, only his 7th start at first base this season. Initially went after the ball. He was going to make it back to the bag in time, but Keppinger could not come up with a baseball. That'll go as an infield hit for Darwin Barney.
There's Casey Coleman, who handles the bat pretty well as he squares to bunt and takes ball 1. Has not had a successful sacrifice to this point. That's foul. He could play Peter Brady in the high school play.
You shave that goatee off, he looks like he still belongs in high school.
Yeah, he's 23 with very youthful look. Casey Coleman.
Casey made a big impression in spring training down in Mesa, Arizona. Got to pitch in a number of games and really opened the eyes of the coaching staff. A guy that probably wasn't that much on the radar as camp began, but by the time the Cubs broke camp, he was definitely on the radar and finds himself here pitching in the rotation in September.
He strikes out.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN TV is sponsored in part by the Illinois Lottery Mega Millions. Tuesday's Mega Millions jackpot is $25 million.
Somebody's birthday. Cotton candy. Your birthday. Curveball missed outside to Baker. Well, this is exactly how you'd like it set up for him. You've got Carlos Lee holding on Darwin Barney at first, so even a bigger hole on the right side for Baker. And maybe that's the key difference, Bob, between righties and lefties for Jeff Baker. Against lefties, he certainly does think opposite field and has had a lot of success this season. It just has not happened for him against righties. Turns on this one, but he's going to make an out. Bogusevic for out number 2.
Next batter, second baseman Blake J. West.
So Blake DeWitt with 2 outs.
It's one of those things too, Len. It almost becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because you have to answer the questions all the time. Why do you think you're doing so much better against lefties and righties? And then you start thinking about it. Oh, I'm not hitting right-handers. I don't know. I mean, Jeff Baker, all right-handed hitters struggle a little bit more against right-handed pitchers, but never to this extent for Jeff Baker throughout his career.
Good read by Barney. He'll easily get second on a wild pitch.
For a guy who relies so heavily on that big curveball, Wandy Rodriguez, that's only his 2nd wild pitch of the season, which would indicate either his control has been really good with that breaking pitch or his catchers have done a really nice job of blocking those pitches in the dirt. Probably a combination of the two.
Outside corner. Lee had to leave his feet. Rodriguez gets over to the bag, and he could not handle it. Throw to the plate. Save. Barney gets in. It's 4-1. That's an RBI single for Blake DeWitt. Not your typical RBI hit, but it works.
It works. A lot of stuff going on this play. Big Carlos Lee making a diving stop out there at first base. He's almost facing left or right field rather by the time he gets it. His throw was behind Wandy Rodriguez, who tried to barehand it, and heads up base running once again by Darwin Barney. You mentioned the great jump he got on the pitch in the dirt to advance to second, and comes all the way around from second to score on a base hit to the first baseman. Talk about that aggressive play when you're playing well, and when it's a part of your game, you do it all the time. And Darwin Barney is a very aggressive player, both offensively and defensively. Almost came up a little short right there, but able to get on the plate ahead of the tag.
Marlon Byrd high in the air. Did he get enough of this one? He did! And just like that, it's a one-run game. A two-run homer by Byrd. All of a sudden, it's 4-3.
For Marlon Byrd, number 12 on the season, goes down and golfs that ball high in the air to left field. That wind continues to blow out in that direction. It certainly didn't hurt that drive at all. Landed about halfway up the bleachers. Setting off chaos out there in the bleachers, looking for that home run ball. Don't put it away now. Wow, that was a towering blast.
The kind of ball you want to hit today with the wind. As Soto bounces foul. 0-2. First homer since August 11th at San Francisco off another lefty, Barry Zito. Pop down to the mid of Castro. 1-2. The little guy got the ball. They got run over by the fans trying to scramble for that souvenir. All's well that ends well. Again, if this becomes a home run contest, the Cubs should have the advantage, even though they're without Aramis Ramirez today. Outside, he's run it full, 3-2. Just missed. Ball 4. Jason Du Bois with a home run to tie it up, 3-3 in the 4th. In Des Moines, number 19 for Du Bois, former Cub big leaguer back in the organization. One and nothing on Xavier Nady. Curveball strike. 1-1. What a major league debut today for Florida Marlins right-hander Adalberto Mendez at Philadelphia. 6 shutout innings on 1 hit. In the bottom of the 8th, it's 4-0 Florida. Will Ullman, Jose Veras working in relief of Mendez, so they're trying to combine on the shutout. Phillies with 1 hit. That was a Brian Schneider single. That's it. Soto running, called strike, and he's out. That'll end the inning, but the Cubs get 3, 2 on a home run from Marlon Byrd. It's now 4-3 Houston.
Place at the Hilton Chicago on January 14th, 15th, and 16th, 2011. Rooms are available now by calling the Hilton Chicago at 312-922-4400 and asking for the Cubs convention rate. Weekend passes will go on sale in early November. As always, for more information, visit Cubs.com.
How about that Hall of Fame group? Fergie, Rhino, Billy, Ernie, and the Hawk. See if Casey Coleman can keep the Astros right where they are. He has not had a 1-2-3 inning yet. Bourne's been on twice. And takes ball 1-1. Sweet swinging Billy Williams from Whistler, Alabama will be honored before the game tomorrow night with a statue near Addison and Sheffield. We look forward to that. Billy has not seen the finished product. It'll be a surprise, as it should be.
But it has to be Billy swinging, I would assume.
I would assume.
I mean, when you're known as sweet swinging Billy Williams, it seems silly to put a shot of him up there fielding a routine ground ball in the outfield or something.
Bourne shoots that one out into right center. This could be a lot of trouble. And Marlon Byrd with a great job to get it back in. Well, that had triple written all over it. On that play, it's not about accuracy. It's about getting rid of the ball as quickly as you can. Marlon did that.
Get the ball in the air back to the infield. That was an off-balance fadeaway throw. Didn't get much on it, but as Michael Bourne is running the bases, he sees the ball in the air in the direction of the cutoff men. He's got no choice but to stop at second base. This is about as good as you can possibly play this ball for Marlon Byrd right there. Bourne decides I'm going to hold up right here. You can see that ball looked like it was dropped out of a helicopter. But it worked.
I was kind of thinking more hot air balloon, but
yeah.
Helicopter works. 1-0 on Keppinger. At the very least, try to hit one the other way and get Bourne to third. The bunt brings in Baker, so nobody covering third. So Keppinger gives up himself a 5-3 sack bunt. I wonder if he did that on his own.
I wouldn't be surprised. Well, if I'm Brad Mills, I would rather have Jeff Keppinger take a shot to the right side of the field. I mentioned it earlier in the game. He handles the bat so well. You put down that sack bunt, you're giving up and out. There's very little question about that. You take a shot to the right side, you might get a base hit.
There's his hitting coach, Jeff Bagwell. Took over for Sean Barry earlier this season. They're going to throw to the plate, and Bourne runs over Soto, who held on to the ball. Little tap from Bourne, clean play. They get the out. Gio didn't give him any room. He had to run him over, and Soto held on to the ball. Nicely done.
A good decision by Jeff Baker as well. A good throw, and Gio just holds his ground right there in the baseline, knowing he's going to take contact from a guy moving at nearly full speed down that third baseline. You know, ideally, you get down a little bit lower, you get some flex in your knees and try to absorb some of that blow, but that time Gio was standing almost straight up and is still able to hang on to the baseball for the out. Clean, hard play, tap on the shoulder by Michael Bourne as he headed back to that first base dugout.
So that brings back memories. Doesn't feel too good, but just all you think about is hanging on to the ball, right? Catch and hang on.
Hang on to the ball and your teeth if possible.
Biggest guy who ever ran you over.
Oh, man. Biggest guy. It wasn't the biggest guys that did the damage. I've told the story many times about Ken Griffey Sr. bowling me over in my first game at the major league level and knocked my mask into one dugout, my helmet into the other dugout, turned my chest protector around backwards, and I had no idea where I was for a few seconds, but it's the little guys that did the damage. Glenn Hubbard ran me over at home plate one time and broke a rib. Mike Gallego from the Oakland A's in a spring training game bowled me over at home plate. I think with the big guys, subconsciously you're thinking to yourself, I'm going to hang on to this ball, I'm going to block the plate, but when he gets here, I'm going to give. I'm not going to try to fight him. I'm not going to try to be a brick wall. I'll just let him knock me out of the way and let him tumble into the on-deck circle.
Ground ball, foul. Not by much.
Dave Parker from the Pittsburgh Pirates ran by me at home plate one time at full speed as I was waiting on a throw from the outfield that just never got there. Thank goodness he didn't take a cheap shot. I'd still be laying out there at Three River Stadium. Dave Parker 6'5", 235, 240, and ran like the wind back in those days.
It's a strike. El Caballo saying, was it on the swing or was it a called strike? It was a slider. I still don't think they're on the same page here.
It definitely looked like he swung at that pitch. And I think that's one of those things. And Major League Baseball talks about the various rules and any changes needed to the game every year in the offseason. I think that's something they're going to need to firm up a little bit. We talk about it all the time, that home plate umpire trying to track the pitch into the hitting zone and determine whether it's a ball or a strike, but yet at the same time he's able to see the bat cross the front of home plate. I think they really need to use every set of eyes out there on the field on that particular call. You see that argued about more than just about any other play involving the batter and the umpire. That check swing without an appeal to the corner umpires. Replay.
You want more of it. I know that. As Lee foul tips for strike 3. So they get out of it. Nice job by Giovanni Soto as he was able to withstand this collision with Michael Bourne at the plate. Still 4-3 Astros. Call strike on Xavier Nady as we start the bottom of the 4th. Looks like Mr. Soto's all right. And in fact, as we'll show you here in a moment, Michael Bourne took the worst of it.
Yeah, the initial contact wasn't the only contact in that play.
Here's a 1-1 to Nady, fouled back. It's our AT&T Uverse replay. Watch at the end of the play, Soto gets toppled over. His spike comes up and actually hits Michael Bourne in the chin. Incidentally, of course, but boy, he is fortunate. I don't think he got spiked. I think his face ended up in between the spikes. Well, he might be out of this game, at least to get stitches at the very least. Ooh. Find out more of what's possible at att.com. AT&T, rethink possible. Swing and a miss, so Nady has struck out twice. Bring up Tyler Colvin.
Wandy Rodriguez once again against Xavier Nady, going up the ladder. 4-seam fastball up above the letters. You see that pitch so well as a hitter. Looks as big as a beach ball, but really tough to get on top of.
Backhanded by Keppinger in shallow right center as he throws to Lee in time. Washington leading the Mets 12-3 in the bottom of the 6th. The Mets have given up 5 runs in 2 different innings today after scoring 5 runs in 3 different innings yesterday here. Shortstop Danny Espinosa with 2 home runs, including a grand slam, 6 RBIs today, for the Nationals. Old school Astros outfit. That looks like he's working undercover today, doesn't it? Got the Phil Garner mustache working too. But that guy's nickname is Scrap Iron.
If it isn't, it should be. Or Muggsy.
High fly to left. I could read a promo before this one lands. Well, Soriano just missed one, got way under it, and the Cubs go down in order. 4-3 Houston after 4. As you said, the first time we had seen the Wave actually make a complete turn around the stands here at Wrigley.
Now, there's usually a couple of speed bumps. Obviously, the bleachers are an area where usually the Wave goes to die, but also the hardcore seats directly behind home plate between the bases usually defies the Wave. But yesterday it made several laps around the ballpark. Very surprising.
Can't say I lost sleep over it, but I think those two fans come up with those signs. Yep. 1 and 2 to Chris Johnson, a homer and a single, both leading off an inning. Second and the third. He's now starting the fifth, batting in the number 5 spot.
On the topic of the Wave, Len, the best I ever saw was at Old Tiger Stadium in Detroit in the 1984 World Series. The fans to the left and right of the batter's eye in center field not only did the Wave with the rest of the ballpark, but all the fans would put their hands straight up over their head and then wave them back and forth like grass blowing in the wind. And the illusion that it gave to a hitter in the batter's box had to be distracting. They'd also do like the traveling sign in the NBA when the referee circles his hands around each other. And when you see thousands of people doing that, it gets to you a little bit. Had to be a distraction.
Well, a lot of the college crowds, they come up with some pretty ingenious things along those lines. Football games. Now time for the fifth inning, brought to you by Subway. Hey, Chicagoland viewers, how would you like to win 5 $5 footlongs from Subway? Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete info and rules.
97999.
He's got it. He's still texting from yesterday. Big home run swing by Bogusevic. So Chris Johnson has led off 3 different innings by getting on base. A home run, a single, a walk. That means Carlos Lee has made the 3rd out of 3 different innings. Off the glove, and that worked out well for the Cubs. They're going to get 2 out of it. 1, 4, 6, 3. If Coleman does not deflect that ball to DeWitt, that might be a single.
Strictly an instinctive play on the part of Casey Coleman. Just stuck his glove out there and deflected it right to his own second baseman, Blake DeWitt. 1, 4, 6, 3 on that double play.
Downs in his Astros debut has been on both times. A walk and a single. He has scored once. Stay tuned after the game on WGN. The 45th annual Jerry Lewis MDA Telethon continues. It's the 31st anniversary of the Chicago broadcast on WGN. Trying to get in on the Subway action. Make sure you contribute today. MDA, the world leader in ALS Lou Gehrig's disease, which affects more than 30,000 Americans. $74 will provide 1 minute of life-saving research. Throw to first by Barney. They get the out. That ends the Astros 5th. Barney will lead off the bottom of the inning with the Cubs trailing by a run. Coleman has had to throw 102 pitches through 5, one off his career high. But he is in the on-deck circle with number 8 hitter Darwin Barney leading off the Cubs 5th. And guys are stretching in the bullpen. Nobody throwing at the moment. Well, Mike Quade would love to get one more inning out of Coleman, and he would face 8-9-1 in the Astros lineup. Two and one on Darwin Barney. Oh, base hit. He is 2 for 2. Darwin has adjusted nicely to big league pitching.
Time now to check out today's improvement from Menards. We're going to look at Wandy Rodriguez this season. On the road through his first 8 starts, it wasn't very good, but he turned into Mel Gibson in his last 5 starts. He's been a road warrior, 3-1 with a 2.78 ERA. For all your home improvement needs, shop and save big money at Menards.
Casey needs to get this one down. He struck out attempting to bunt in the 3rd. Just was blocked by the catcher Castro as the ball got away, and once Barney hesitated, it was too late.
Now the catcher, as well as the left-handed hitting Casey Coleman, may have been blocking Darwin Barney's vision. You saw the false start. He wasn't sure where the baseball was, and if you're not sure, you just can't take that chance.
Two and one.
Boy, as aggressively as the Astros are playing this potential sacrifice bunt, and as well as Casey Coleman has handled the bat in the at-bats we've seen him have this year, might be worth a shot to turn him loose right here. Let him swing that bat. The infield is all broken up.
Just kind of fought that one off. Two and two.
I mean, I talk all the time about playing the percentages, trying to get the percentages in your favor. Even though the situation would scream out for a sacrifice bunt, if you've got the third baseman positioning himself that close to home plate and charging on delivery, as well as the pitcher coming straight in and Carlos Lee coming in from first, that's tough duty trying to get a bunt down in front of those 3 guys.
Now, the key pitch, I think, was the 2-0 pitch that he laid off. Fastball on the outside corner. It was the best pitch he had to bunt the hold it bat. Here's Baker for the 3rd time. He's 1 for 2. Kick and the pitch. That one a rocket into the corner and left. Let's see if Barney can score. Ivan De Jesus is going to send him, and the Cubs tie it up. Jeff Baker with an RBI double. It's 4-4.
Fastball down and in. Jeff Baker showing a nice quick bat that time. That ball was struck well down into the left field corner, and Darwin Barney once again exhibiting his base running skills. Cut those corners very sharp, giving Ivan De Jesus the opportunity to wave him on in, and he'll score without a play at home plate.
Chance to get the lead. Cubs trailed at 1.4-0. It's now 4-4. Year-old Wandy Rodriguez, curveball strike. Born in Santiago in the Dominican Republic. He is 3rd on the all-time Astros wins list among lefties, just past Jim Deshaies. He's now the TV color analyst. Bob Knepper has 93 wins. Mike Hampton 76 and Wandy Rodriguez 62. Sun is out. Bourne had to battle the sun as he made the catch to retire DeWitt. Really difficult right now for that center fielder Bourne. Eventually it's going to be the right fielder dealing with that sun. Kick and the pitch to Bird. In on his hands, he fought it off.
Time to take a look at our BMW ultimate drive of the game. Marlon Byrd with a 2-run bomb back in the 3rd inning, his 12th of the season, a no doubter deep into the bleachers in left field. Now's your chance to lease a new BMW 3 Series for $439 a month with nothing down and no security deposit. Visit ChicagolandBMW.com for details.
I think he missed it. And Baker will take 3rd. That pitch missed Marlon Byrd's bat. Missed the catcher Castro. It's a passed ball charged to Castro.
And Castro out to visit with Wandy Rodriguez. May have been a cross-up. I don't know. He's air-mailed everybody. Castro slow reacting to the high pitch. Maybe he was expecting something off speed that was going to move down a little bit. That one just sailed right over everybody. Well, momentarily it looked like the Astros were going to abandon home plate. Everybody started to chase that ball in foul territory on the third base side. At the last instant, Jason Castro realized there was nobody covering home plate.
Here's the 0-2. We'll do it again. Go back to 2005. Among National League left-handers, Wandy Rodriguez has the most wins with the 62. 2nd in starts, 3rd in strikeouts. Been a pretty consistent guy. One and two. Well, it has been a struggle for him here at Wrigley Field in his career. An ERA over 6. He could not hold a 4-0 lead. Strikes out Bird to end the inning, so the go-ahead run stays stranded at 3rd. They tie it on the Baker double. It's 4-4.
Chicago is today's Hit the Jackpot with Powerball contestant. The Cubs hit a home run in the next inning. Joyce Lazo will win 100 chances to win the Powerball jackpot. Wednesday's jackpot is worth $62 million.
Jeff Baker, in probably the hottest stretch of the year, is 2 for 3 today after piling up 3 hits and 3 at-bats yesterday, all from that leadoff spot as Jason Castro grounded to a 3-1 putout. Baker tied it up with an RBI double in the 5th. One bad inning for Casey Coleman today, the second, but he has kept the Astros off the board since. And Mike Quade would love to see him get through this 6th inning and help out a bullpen that was taxed yesterday. The 1-0 to Rodriguez is a called strike. Iowa now leading Memphis 6-3 after 6. Big day for Jason DuBois with 2 home runs. Hard hit ground ball to Nady. Take it by himself. 2 quick outs. Let's see if they can get Bourne for the first time. Outside, ball 1. Bourne, a first-time All-Star. Served a 1-game suspension in late May for his actions on May 8th. Bumped first base umpire Alfonso Marquez while arguing a call. Got 2 games, but it was dropped to 1 after he appealed, and the game he sat out, he watched from the stands with his family. A little different.
Guess who was buying?
Full count, 3-2. Coleman does not want to give the Astros any reason to believe they can get the lead back this inning. And letting Bourne get on would be a reason. Five walks issued by Coleman. Here comes Larry Rothschild. Oh, we have a chance. Let's see what's coming up on WGN. Again, the MDA Telethon, the 45th annual Jerry Lewis MDA Telethon, will resume following the game here on WGN. Jeff Keppinger chatting with Dave Clark, the third base coach. Yeah, the Dave Clark 5. In this case, it's the Dave Clark 35. Would you be okay with like 28 guitar players? You'd have no problem with that. 35-piece band, 28 guitarists, 3 drummers, a bass player, a couple singers. Good shape.
Limited the venues you can play because the band is bigger than some of the clubs.
Down the right field line, but twisting foul out of play.
Big fan of the Dave Clark 5.
Oh yeah, British Invasion. Catch us if you can.
Bits and pieces. stumble there by Bourne as he went back into the bag at first. Was able to keep his foot on the base as he had to reach down with his hands to maintain his balance. Casey Coleman's got some quick feet out there on the mound. He has yet to pick anybody off of first base, but I think at some point in his career he will. That too is all part of the learning process. If you've got a good move to first base and quick feet, you can set up a base runner. Show him a really slow, bad move. And lull him into a false sense of security. Try to get that base runner to take that one extra step and then put the good quick move on it.
One and two on the hardest batter to strike out in the National League, Jeff Keppinger.
And Casey Coleman has a good idea of the timing of a base runner. As Michael Bourne gets out there and gets his lead, invariably he's going to peek in and try to see Giovanni Soto's signs. And that's when Casey Coleman has been snapping that throw over to first base. We're close once again.
Big play in this game. Bourne getting thrown out at the plate in the fourth. There he goes. They pitch out and he gets all the way past Soto.
Got to catch that ball. You always anticipate the perfect pitch out, but you've got to be ready just in case it is not. And that time Gio just kind of reached across his body, very lackadaisical. Ball clanked off the end of his glove all the way to the bricks.
We'll never know, but I'm not sure they would have had Bourne either way. You can pitch out against a guy like him and still not get him. Line to center. Marlon Byrd is there. That'll end the inning. 2-out walk and a steal, but no runs. 4-4. Tie. The Astros got the lead with 4 in the second. The Cubs had 3 in the third and then tied it up in the fifth. Soto, Nady, and Colvin against left-hander Wandy Rodriguez. Good deal. Strike one. Just caught the outside corner to Soto. Well hit, but Hunter Pence. Ball started to take off at the last second. Pence made the grab. Xavier Nady has struck out twice.
See if Wandy Rodriguez stays with the same game plan. After getting ahead in the count, he's gone up the ladder with fastballs, first at the belt, then at the letters. Nady's been unable to lay off that high heater.
These two teams will finish up the regular season in Houston October 1st through the 3rd. Tough day for Nady. Time now to look at our PNC Cubs achievers among Major League rookies. Starlin Castro leading the way in batting average. Third in hits, Tyler Colvin leading in home runs. PNC Bank proud to be an official sponsor of the Chicago Cubs, just as proud to support the fans and community who cheer them on. PNC for the achiever in us all. High fly ball. Michael Bourne in center. Still backpedaling, the wind pushing that one out toward the wall. That's the inning. The third 1-2-3 for Rodriguez, 4-4.
GN is brought to you by Bud Light. The sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
Pleasant day here at the ballpark. Labor Day 2010. Marcos Mateo out of the Cubs bullpen after Casey Coleman went 6 innings, allowing 4 runs on 8 hits. 3, 4, and 5. Pence, Lee, and Johnson. These guys have been hot. Legendary comedian, Chicago native Tom Dreesen will conduct the stretch today. Swinging strike on Pence. Mateo pitched yesterday. Gave up that controversial home run to Ruben Tejada. I don't know if we'll ever know for sure if it actually got over that yellow line. We didn't think so, but talking to some of the Cubs, including Marlon Byrd, he thought it hit the fans' hands. As Colvin makes a catch, 1 away. Goes down as Tejada's first career home run.
And believe me, Ruben Tejada will take his first career home run, but probably the way you dream about it.
Yeah, he was standing at third after sliding. And the umpires were telling him, son, that was a home run. You can keep on going. You can keep on headed toward the plate. 2-0 on Lee, who's been eerily quiet today. Not anymore. Out into right center for Lee. Running pretty hard. He's thinking 2. Might be a play there. Late. It was an accurate throw, not the strongest toss, as Bird tried to get rid of it in a hurry, and it's a hustle double for Carlos Lee.
Yeah, it looked like the throw back to the infield from Marlon Bird. Maybe got hung up in that outfield grass a little bit. You'd like to see a big skip right there on the first bounce, but that ball ended up taking 2 more hops through the outfield grass before it got to Darwin Barney at second base, and by then El Caballo sliding in with a double.
Pitch to Johnson. Slider low. Wild one in Des Moines. Memphis just tied it up 6-6 in the 7th. The White Sox beat Detroit today 5-4. A.J. Pierzynski with the game-winning RBI single in the 10th. Chris Sale got the win. Jose Valverde took the loss. So the White Sox stay hot after a weekend sweep at Fenway. They've now won 7 in a row. Problem is Minnesota is ahead 5-4 over Kansas City in the 6th. Crazy finish yesterday. Texas having the game end at 6-5. They lost at Minnesota. They got 3 in the 9th to get within 1, but then third base coach Dave Anderson was called for interfering with runner Michael Young for the final out of the game. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Visit the official online shop of the Chicago Cubs at Cubs.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source, the Cubs.com shop. Accept no substitutes. Bogusevic, ball 1. The key question, and we might get an answer at some point here over the next couple of days, Bob, is the interpretation of that interference rule. It seems as though the rule book, the spirit of the rule, states that a coach cannot help a runner, either stopping a guy or propelling him toward the next base, as opposed to simply, if any contact is made, whether it's incidental or not, the runner would be out. There was a little confusion at the end of the game in terms of how that rule actually read. 1-2.
Now the rule itself notwithstanding, I saw a couple of replays of that particular play, and it's hard to tell if there was contact or not. Dave Anderson, the third base coach, had his arms extended trying to hold up the runner, and the runner, in an effort to stop Michael Young, put his arms up, and they came very close, but you can't tell if they touched.
Called strike 3. Tom Dreesen with a stretch.
Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game is Chicago native and comedian Tom Dreesen.
Cub fans, are you ready? We never give up. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. And let's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's go!
Alfonso Soriano pops a foul out of play as we begin the bottom of the 7th in a 4-4 tie. Our annual visit from Tom Dreesen.
Good to see you guys again.
Good to see you, Tom.
Always a pleasure, Tom.
Yeah, how great it is to be back here at Wrigley Field. I think when I was a little kid, used to sit up in those bleachers, take the Illinois Central from Harvey and take the elevated over here and sit out in the bleachers and just root for those Cubs. Nothing changed.
You get better seats now.
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure. And I saw Fergie Jenkins on my way in. I saw Billy Williams. And so it was like old timers day here. It's really great to see everybody.
And a big night for Billy tomorrow.
Yeah.
Statue will be unveiled out at Addison in Sheffield.
What a great guy.
Cup greats will be here on hand.
He gave me a lot of thrills here when I was a kid, watching Sweet Swinging Billy.
1-2 on Soriano. Here's a pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Keppinger was shaded up the middle, so routine play for him for the first out. When's your golf tournament coming up?
Well, September 13, 14, 15 in Bolingbrook, the Tom Dreesen Celebrity Invitational. I got 20-something, 25 to 30 celebrities coming in, and it's for the Illinois Fatherhood Initiative. And it's going real good. We're looking for a few more foursomes, but with the economy what it is, we understand. But come on out, you're going to have a good time. My celebrities there are no prima donnas in that group. They're all a lot of fun guys, and you'll see some Hall of Famers, Raleigh Fingers. Of course, Jimmy McMahon always joins me. Mike Ruzioni, Smokey Robinson's coming out. And I'm doing a show the day before September 12th. This is a cheap plug, guys. So it's at the Bolingbrook Golf Club.
This one slowly hit to Keppinger. Barney running hard, but he's thrown out.
I'm doing a show now called An Evening of Laughter and Memories of Sinatra, where I do an hour of stand-up comedy, then 30, 40 minutes of Sinatra stories that are both funny but also poignant, and so we've got 2 sold-out performances here, so we put an ad of the 3rd one on. It's Bolingbrook on September 12th. And if you come out for the golf tournament that evening, Tuesday evening, Smokey Robinson's going to sing. I'm going to do some comedy. Gary Mulder, Alfonso Ribeiro. We got a great show for all the golfers that are coming out soon.
Sounds like a wonderful event as Wellington Castillo will pinch hit.
Do you think you'll get McMahon to put on a pair of shoes on the golf course this year? Doesn't he always play barefooted?
Not only that, he doesn't wear any underwear either. This guy's dangerous. He's absolutely dangerous out there. He doesn't wear shoes, but he plays better, Bob. He plays better without shoes on for some reason. He's a good golfer.
Andrew Kashner getting ready for the 8th. That's a strike. Hopefully the inning doesn't end here quickly, Tom, but can you give us a quick Frank Sinatra story, something about Frank that nobody knows or knew? This is family television.
Well, yeah. If he gets on, I'll give you a quick story here.
The 1-1 bounced foul.
One night in a bar, and I may have heard this. So one night in a bar in Rancho Mirage in Palm Springs, we were the only ones in the bar, like 3 o'clock in the morning, and a station wagon pulled up. 2 women were in the car. One got out, ran inside. She said, "Excuse me, they have a jukebox in here?" And Frank turned around and he said, "No, I don't think so." He said, "I'll sing for you." She said, "No, thanks." And she turned around and she walked out.
Loss.
He looked at her. He watched her go out the door with saddened eyes, and I said, "She obviously didn't recognize you." He said, "Maybe she did."
Maybe she was in the mood for some Dean Martin, you know?
Yeah.
2-2. Broken bat. Base hit for Castillo. Keep this inning alive.
Good to see for Wellington Castillo. I haven't seen much of him since he was called up here to the major league level up a couple of weeks ago when Giovanni Soto had some knee issues. Did get to start one ball game, but his chances on the field have been few and far between, but takes that Wandy Rodriguez curveball right back up the middle of the field.
Now Jeff Baker tied the game with a double in the 5th. See a ball rolling behind home plate from the Cubs bullpen. Tom, you also have an appearance coming up at the Chicago Prostate Center.
Yeah, this is one time it's no joke. 1 in 6 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. So men over 50, we're going to give you a free a checkup. It's at 815 Pasquinelli Drive in Westmont on Friday, September 17th from 10 to 11:30 p.m. I'll be there. It's going to be from 7 in the morning to 3, but from 10 to 11:30 I'll be there. You get a free screening, men over 50, African American men over 40, because it's more prevalent in the African American community. So men come out and get this. Early detection is so important, as you guys know, and that's what we'll be doing there.
Pence coming in, and he will get there to make the catch. Tom Dreesen, always a pleasure. Great to see you, sir.
Good to see you guys, too, as always.
4-4 after 7. CRV game summary. Rookie Chris Johnson putting together an excellent season with a home run, a single, and a walk for Houston. Casey Coleman, give him a lot of credit. It wasn't easy early on, but after that 4-run second, he really settled in. Visit your Honda dealer. Test drive a 2010 Honda CRV. Andrew Kashner here in the 8th. And Anderson Hernandez, switch hitting infielder, will hit for the shortstop Downs. And he fouls it back. swing and a miss, 96 on that fastball. It's worth repeating. We've talked about this since September 1st with the expanded rosters. A little easier for managers to pull some strings with pinch hitters, pinch runners, relief pitchers, what have you. And the funny thing is, I think you generally agree with me on the roster situation. If you had a 25-man game day roster and had healthy scratches like they do in hockey, but when you were in the manager's chair, I think you probably liked having 33 guys to use. That's just my guess.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it sounds, but you've got more toys in the toy box. Yeah, you know, we've talked about it before. If you bring up a guy from AAA who maybe stole 50 or 60 bases at the AAA level, bring him up just to use as a pinch runner in a key situation, it's nice to have those extra pieces. But I would tend to agree with you about the 25-man roster. You play that way for 5 months of the 6-month season, and all of a sudden in September you've got up to 40 players available, depending on how many each organization calls up.
And it's not even. That's the other part of it, is that one team could have 32, the other team 29. And at least make it even. You could maybe make it 30. Cap the game day roster at 30. Oh, 2 to Castro. They're going upstairs. He was able to make contact. Cashner, nice move to get out of the way of the bat. And Barney fielding the ball, throwing him out. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
Cashner showing some quick feet out there on the mound, getting out of the way of that barrel of the bat. Darwin Barney with a nice running play on to first for the out. Brad Mills going to fire another bullet off the bench here. Jeff Blum going to pinch hit for Wandy Rodriguez.
Well, you know me, I'm a numbers guy, but for whatever reason, when I see Jeff Blum, I don't care what his average is. Late game situation, close game against the Cubs, I get nervous.
He's come up with some big ones.
He had elbow surgery on July 7th and was on the DL for a month. Two and one on the switch hitting utility man, Jeff Blum. Called strike. Wilton Lopez up for the Astros. And will dip into their bullpen for the first time in the bottom of this inning as Blum strikes out on the Cashner changeup. They go 1-2-3. It's a 4-4 tie. With Mike Quaddy, log on to WGNTV.com right now. Click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner to connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and information while watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio and play sets, hot tubs, and more. Right-hander Wilton Lopez is on for the Astros. Here in the bottom of the 8th, the 4-4 tie. Tommy Manzella also playing short as Blake DeWitt takes ball 1. And the wind up as DeWitt fouls away.
Lopez has been a nice find in that Astros bullpen. The 5-1 record, ERA just a shade over 3. 42 strikeouts against only 5 base on balls in 59 innings of work. He is definitely a strike thrower. Fastball, slider, changeup.
One and two. Bouncing ball to Jeff Keppinger.
Hey fans, get your photo on the field. An hour before the start of every Cubs home game, the Captain Morgan Club at Wrigley Field will randomly select one guest and a friend to have their photo taken on Wrigley Field with your name on the scoreboard. No game ticket is required. Visit CaptainMorganClub.com for details.
Windy day here at Wrigley. See if Marlon Byrd can get one up in the wind like he did back in the 3rd inning, a 2-run homer. Reds and Rockies tied at 4, bottom 4 in Colorado. Aaron Harang knocked out after 2 1/3. Ubaldo Jimenez still in there. For the Rockies, Cincinnati has a 7-game lead over St. Louis. The Cardinals won 2 of 3 over the weekend, but will not get another shot head-to-head with the Reds the rest of the season. Chris Carpenter this year went 5-0 in 5 starts against the Reds. St. Louis is leading 8-2 at Milwaukee. They got 6 in the top of the 8th. They're now in the bottom of the 8th. Maybe some cracks in the foundation. They've got some sniping in the clubhouse. Colby Rasmus. There were reports that he had asked earlier this season to be traded. He has denied those reports, but has admitted that wasn't always happy last year as a rookie, and some more issues this season, and kind of got torched in the media by Albert Pujols. Quote, "It's a privilege to play in this organization. I have nothing negative to say about the organization. For a young kid to come up and say that he wants to be somewhere else, I don't know why." And essentially said if he doesn't want to be here, get rid of him. Swing and a miss, strike 3. We'll be recording a brand new podcast after the game today. Will be available for downloading and viewing by tomorrow at WGNTV.com. Quote from Pujols, "If you don't want to be a part of this, then you need to figure out another place to go play." Ooh. Giovanni Soto launches, gone out on the wave, Cleveland, 5-4. The Cubs have their first lead of the game. What a day he's had. He saved a run earlier after a collision at home plate, and he gives the Cubs a late one-run lead. Well, the wind is howling, but that's a home run on any day.
That's a no-doubter, regardless of the conditions here at Wrigley Field. Middle of the plate fastball tailed right back onto the barrel of the bat for Gio. Great sound off the bat. Great trajectory. That ball out onto Waveland Avenue.
Boy, the wind blowing as hard as it has blown all day long. Gusting straight out. Well, Andrew Kashner, who worked a 1-2-3/8, has a chance at his second win as the closer's cranking it up in the bullpen. Oh, and 2 on Nady.
Astros staying with the same pattern, even though Lopez, a right-hander, has relieved Wandy Rodriguez, trying to go right back up the ladder with a 4-seam fastball and a 2-strike count. That time Nady able to get a piece and stay alive.
Swing and a miss. So Nady's tough day continues, but Giovanni Soto, the hero of the moment, go-ahead homer. It's 5-4 to the ninth. Been a really good year for Giovanni Soto. Bounce back year after struggling in 2009. Go ahead home run today in the 8th, the 17th of the year. Called strike from Marmol to Michael Bourne. Marmol trying to save it for Kashner. Outside. .33 previous appearances for Marmol against the Astros, a 1.21 ERA. I'd say Michael Bourne has had just less than a perfect day. He's been on base all 4 times, but could not jar the ball loose. from the glove of Giovanni Soto in the 4th inning. That would have added some insurance in it. Play looms very large. Allowed a hit against Marmol in his career. Nady backing up. Marmol covering. They get the out.
Time is running out in the 2010 baseball season, so don't miss your chance to see Cubs baseball right here at Wrigley Field. Tickets are still available for the remaining home games, including bleacher seats. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com, call 1-800-THE-CUBS, or visit the Wrigley Field box office.
Say a slightly nervous backpedal by Xavier Nady, which is not easy to do against a speedy guy like Bourne, but able to get there, and Bourne will beat him to the bag. Nady with another chance. Much more routine this time to get Keppinger. $31,647. As the Cubs try to improve to 5-2, that would clinch a winning homestand with 2 to go. Popped him up. This will do it. Blake DeWitt with the catch. Cubs win. They come all the way back, down 4-0 in the 2nd inning. They score the final 5 runs today. Giovanni Soto hits the game-winning homer, and they beat the Astros.